Hello, I'm Jeremy with Taser Travel and welcome to our channel. Today I'm going to take you on a culinary tour of the food we enjoyed while on the beautiful Norwegian Bliss. First off, I want to welcome back all of our returning subscribers. Thanks for watching. And if you're new here and like travel tips, travel vlogs, and following along on our travel adventures, please subscribe and click that notification bell so you're notified whenever we upload new videos. So let's get into it and take a look at all the great food that we had while on the Norwegian Bliss. It truly was a great experience with so much to offer. Usually on embarkation day, we don't eat lunch on the ship. Instead, we grab breakfast at the hotel or somewhere off the ship, and then our first meal on board is for dinner. For this cruise, we had purchased a 3-night specialty dining package, so we jumped right in and took advantage of that on the first night of the cruise at Cagney's. This is the specialty steakhouse on board. Being our first Norwegian cruise, we didn't yet have any experience with their dining, but we had heard great things, and Cagney's certainly did not disappoint. We each had the same thing and started out with the pork belly for an appetizer, which was delicious. We followed that with a blue cheese wedge salad, then a thick and juicy ribeye steak. The only issue we found with this is that they offered sides of sauces, and the amount of melted butter that they provided was pretty small. A little bit disappointing, but still the steak was fantastic. For dessert, Missy had a warm apple crisp, and I had a delicious 7-layer chocolate cake. They were a perfect way to end a fantastic meal at Cagney's Steakhouse on our first night of the cruise. The first morning of our cruise found us at Margaritaville at Sea for breakfast. A place where, as we go through this video, you'll find us pretty often. For those days where we had breakfast, we ate at Margaritaville for all but one. Unlike lunch at Margaritaville where there's a cover charge, there is no charge for breakfast. Early in the cruise, people either don't know this, or they're hitting up other restaurants for breakfast, making this one of the least crowded places to eat in the morning. Breakfast is served buffet style with plenty options to pick from. Bacon, sausage, eggs, pastries, French toast, and a wide selection of cereals and fruit. There is something for just about everyone. However, there is no waffles and no omelet station. This may be something that people may find disappointing. However, breakfast here was perfect for us, and we liked the laid-back vibe and no crowds that Margaritaville had to offer. Exploring the ship and just relaxing around kept us from having another big meal until late in the evening. For a late night dinner, we went to the local, the on-board 24-hour establishment on the Bliss. Missy started out with some soft pretzel sticks that came with cheese sauce for dipping, and I had some delicious chicken wings. I really like their wings since they were breaded, then fried. This really helps any sauce that comes with them to stick, versus just regular fried buffalo chicken wings where all the sauce seems to run off. These were very tasty. I also had some fish and chips. The funny thing about these is we asked the waiter if they were either breaded or battered, and he said that they were breaded, though as you can see here, they are clearly and certainly battered. We each also had a taco salad, one was beef and the other chicken. These were quite tasty, and after we were done, we were way too full for dessert. And the next day, since we had eaten such a late dinner, we skipped breakfast, so our first meal was lunch at the Garden Grill. This is the main buffet restaurant on the Bliss. Make sure you wash your hands before you go in, and if you don't, there's somebody there to remind you with the washy washy song. I don't have any video of Missy's lunch here, but she had some very soft serve ice cream with carrot cake. I decided to forego the soft serve and got some regular chocolate ice cream with chocolate sauce. Next, while we were relaxing on the waterfront on deck 8 that afternoon, I came across the bakery, and I simply could not pass up a cupcake. I don't remember exactly what they called these, but one was made with chocolate cake and the other one with white. Both were okay. They did have a cream filling, but they kind of had a consistency more like a muffin than a cupcake. At $2.50 each plus gratuity, I probably wouldn't pay the $6 to get these again, but never say never since we'll be on the Encore later this year. In the evening, we went to the Manhattan dining room for dinner. Shortly after sitting down, they'll bring you some rolls with butter for you to enjoy while you're waiting on your appetizers and entrees. They had a pretty varied menu, and I wanted to try a few things, so I ordered 2 appetizers. I started out with the smoked mozzarella ravioli and a lobster cream sauce, and Missy had the French onion soup. I followed up my first appetizer with the Asian spare ribs with vegetable summer roll. These were actually pretty tasty, and I was impressed. For our main course, Missy had the New York strip, and I had the Bang Bang chicken and shrimp, which had a curry and peanut sauce. I followed up my meal with the chocolate lava cake with strawberry compote and ice cream. However, there was no lava to this lava cake, and I sent it back and ended up ordering the same thing that Missy had, which was the Bananas Fosters. Truly decadent and delicious. We had also received a card in our room indicating that we had a free cake waiting for us, which they gave to us, so we took this back to our cabin to have another evening because we were far too full. The next morning was our day in St. Thomas. However, we did not get off the ship, but we went to the Taste dining room for breakfast. I had the huevos rancheros, which was really just some chili on a tortilla, topped with a fried egg. For whatever reason, we didn't film what Missy had for breakfast, but that's okay. She stopped at Starbucks for a frappuccino. For dinner, we had another reservation at a specialty restaurant, the Teppanyaki, an entertaining and delicious experience. The chef always makes for a fun evening putting on a show while cooking your meal right in front of you on the Teppanyaki grill. They provide you with appetizers, soup, and salad to start out. Then the chef puts fried rice in your main dish right in front of you. We each had filet mignon. A selection of sauces is also provided. We always have a great time at the Teppanyaki, and this was certainly no different. And for dessert, we ate that anniversary cake that they had given us the night before in the Manhattan dining room. For breakfast the next day, it was back to Margaritaville before we headed off to Tortola to explore for the day. After seeing the sights in Tortola and back on board, we headed back up to Margaritaville for a very late lunch. For a $14.95 cover charge per person, you can each select an appetizer, an entree, and a dessert. We of course had to order the volcano nachos, since every other photo and video of these we have seen looked amazing. And they of course lived up to the expectation, if not for being a little soggy from all those toppings. We also did enjoy some crispy tortilla chips with some queso and salsa. For our entrees, Missy enjoyed the fish and chips, while I of course had to order the cheeseburger in paradise. I've had this at a couple different Margaritaville restaurants over the years, and this one just wasn't quite the same. They also didn't have any Heinz 57 sauce available on the tables. When we go back again on the Encore this fall, I'll be sure to ask if they have it so I can put it on my burger. And for dessert, we had some cheesecake. After the meal, there was no room for anything else, and we didn't even eat dinner that evening. The next morning, I made my way back to Margaritaville for breakfast. As you can see, there's a theme for breakfast going on here as I mentioned earlier. Missy wasn't with me, as she was sleeping in after our long day in Tortola the day before, but I did take her back a plate to enjoy in the cabin. For dinner that evening, we thought we'd enjoy the family dinner in the main buffet, Garden Grill. However, we were rather disappointed with what they had, and even after getting our plates and tasting what was on offer, which was turkey, stuffing, and mashed potatoes, we decided to forego dinner in the buffet and we headed to the Taste dining room instead. In Taste, I started out with a coconut shrimp as an appetizer, followed up by a pasta dish with shrimp and cream sauce. Missy had the steak with a side of french fries. For dessert, we had the Snickers pound cake and the chocolate eclairs. The next day, Missy wasn't feeling well, and I don't have any video from breakfast or from lunch. But for dinner, we had another reservation at Cagney's Steakhouse, but decided to cancel that, and I made a new reservation for Q Texas Smokehouse. I went in not expecting to have a great meal, but this certainly did exceed my expectations. I started out with a load of fries, which were much different than I was expecting. I received what looked like onion rings, but it certainly was fried potatoes, topped with pulled pork, jalapenos, green onions, and sour cream. I then topped it with some barbecue sauce that they provided on the table. For my main entree, I selected the Pitmasters Platter, which came with a 1/4 pound of brisket, ribs, jalapeno and cheese sausage, and some chicken. There were also a few small sides provided. The brisket was truly melt in your mouth, just like butter, and far exceeded any expectations that I came in with. For dessert, I had the chocolate brownie with ice cream. It came with a side of warm chocolate sauce that you pour over the top. Truly heavenly. So there you have it, all the foods that we enjoyed while on the beautiful Norwegian Bliss. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this, please be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. And we'll see you next time. Bye for now.